All right. Hi, everybody. We're back for the full moon reading in March for March 18th, and that's in Virgo. So we're in March. The sun is in Pisces. Pisces is a very dreamy energy. The dreamer, the emotions, right? It's a water sign. Lots of emotions, lots of dreaming, real dreamy energy. And then Virgo is a very practical sign. That's an earth sign. It's very grounded in earth. Although it is the Virgin, so it's a feminine energy. So you can add some nurturing to that grounded in the earth energy. And yeah, so nurturing the practical things in life, right? So then March is the third month. And 3 represents joy. We're in 2022, which is a universal 6 year, and that means birthing new things. And the full moon is all about ending a cycle, and the full moon is on the 18th, which translates to a 9, which is ending a cycle as well. 9's end a cycle. They're also about humanitarian projects and things like that. So there we have it. Universal 6th year, the Aquarian age, healing things, freedom, all of that stuff, right? Because the Aquarian energy is all about freedom and liberation, and it's a very healing sign, and it's about healing things. So here we are. We're coming up on a full moon in Virgo in March, which is the sun is in Pisces. So it's the meeting of the dreamy energy with the practical energy. So what do we want to do with that? Maybe we want to bring our dreams into fruition, ground them solidly into earth, and really start moving forward with what it is that we want to do. The last couple of years has been all about that. It's been all about what is it that we want in our lives? What do we want to do with our lives? Who do we want in our lives? It's really about weeding out stuff that doesn't fit us energetically, clearing up karma, and creating something better for ourselves. Yeah. So I've already set the intention. I've asked our guides, our spiritual team, our God, our angels, our animal totems, guardians, and guides, our entire spiritual team, all of our spirit guides, that which loves us and has our highest and greatest good for intentions always to be present, to give us any insight or any messages or whatever they want to tell us right now at this time during these energies that we're working with. So let's go ahead and spread out some cards and see what we get. Oh. All right, you guys. Let me take a sip of my coffee. All right. So what is driving the reading? What's driving the reading is the 9 of Wands. There we go. You can see that. So wands are the journey, right? So they're driven by fire, and that's our journey. That's our physical journey here. So we're ending something. Something really is coming to pass. And it looks like there's a lot of sorrow around that. Like people are feeling kind of bad. Because if you look, you'll see that there's all these dead sticks in the background. So we've finished up with things. We have finished up with things. And some people don't quite know what to do with the finishing up. They're feeling bad about what we're finishing up, and they're not looking that through this finishing up of things, we have this this one, which is absolutely bloomed and beautiful, and there's all that life in it. And so it's not being looked at. It's not being looked at. Now, nines they're finishing, but they're not completely ended, right? It's not a 10. So we're in the midst of finishing a cycle. And it's disappointing some people, and that's what's driving this reading. Now, if you think about it, if you think about what's going on right now, that makes a lot of sense, okay? Because then the next, and I'll explain that in a minute. But the next thing is that we're being represented right now by the swords, and the swords are doing damage. These aren't, so swords are represented by air, okay? They're driven by air. They're fast-moving energy. They're technology. They're information. They're ego. They're words. They're thoughts. Okay, and don't forget creativity, because that's an inspired thought. That's an inspired thought. But with these swords, this is not healthy. So this is taking in information that's unhealthy, right? This has been a lot of unhealthy information there. Okay? And then across from us, we also have these swords, okay? And this card really does represent worrying about nothing. Like, you're up at night, you're fretting, or your mind is on all of these things. You're worrying about all of this information. But the truth of the matter is, with this card, like, hardly any of what you're worrying about is true. It's like it wasn't true. So what's driving the reading is because there's been some justice that's come in around us, and there will be more. And I'll tell you why I know that in just a minute. So there's been some justice that's come in, and the justice is basically saying the narrative was not true. The narrative was not true. It wasn't true. Just like this card represents, it's just not. You're worrying about things that it's not nearly as bad as you think it is. And so justice has come in, and it said that, right? And that's pretty disappointing to some people, because that narrative has ended, and it's really on its last leg. It's going to be done soon, because this is a 9. It's not a 10. So it's on its last leg, and more than likely, the only power behind it is being given to, fed to, by the disappointment that it's not what they thought it was. Is this making sense to you? And so nobody's looking at this beautiful piece of the journey where it's like, we've gotten justice. Now we know truths. Now we know things. We absolutely know things. We're learning things. Justice is coming in. And it's teaching us things, and we're not looking at it for the blessing that it is. We're so caught up in the fact that, oh, maybe we were wrong about something, and our egos don't want us to accept or take responsibility that we may have been wrong about something. But justice is creating like a wish fulfillment, right? So right above the justice, there's the wish fulfillment. And that's also a 9. So we're getting some wishes. We really are getting some wishes coming true through this justice, through this ending. Okay? So, often people when you've heard something enough, and you've allowed that to get in there and really mess with you enough, and you've allowed yourself to get caught up in a narrative or rumors, or, because this is words, thoughts, information, and it's also technology and creativity. When you've really believed something wholeheartedly, and then you find out through justice that a lot of what you believed is dead in the water, wasn't true, cognitive dissonance can creep in, and even though this is like, it's freeing, the justice is freeing, the cognitive dissonance and the unwillingness to be open and say, oh, we were wrong about that, stops us from seeing what beauty there is in that. Like, this is done, and now we can start this, focus on this, instead of focusing on what's behind us. Is that making sense? So that's what's driving the reading. So rather than staying caught up in this and this, you got to let it go. You got to let it go, because justice says, no, we're changing things with the justice card. So that's ended. Look to this. Because we're finally, this justice is bringing like a wish fulfillment. It really is. And then we'll move on from there, because again, this is not a 10 either. So this is fulfilling a wish, and then we're going to have some more work to do, right? We're going to have a little more work to do. So yeah, what's driving the reading is the disappointment in learning things that really weren't true. It's like people are disappointed. It's like they're disappointed in learning that all the bad news, all the news that made them fret and that wasn't healthy, they're disappointed in learning that it was false, or that there was more to it and they didn't know everything about it. You know what I mean? And so they're caught up more in the disappointment of that than they are in looking at the new thing that's blooming. I mean, come on. Come on. Let's open our minds. Like, who cares? Who cares? Like, who cares? If we have been wrong about things, if we've been focused and taken in stuff, and all this time, like, if you've been following me, my readings have been saying, don't take in the information too much. Like, seriously discern. And, you know, they've been saying that right along. Discern and get your information from your higher guidance. And apparently it was to prepare us so that this isn't, you know, the state of being. But, yeah, who cares if we're wrong about something? We're human beings. We're here having a human experience. We're divine, right? We're divine. We're spiritual beings, but we're in a human body. We're human. And when we came in, we came in to have this human experience, to start from scratch and learn. And so that means sometimes we're wrong about stuff. So why are we so upset when we're wrong? It's a learning experience. Being wrong is actually a great opportunity for growth. If you were right, then you're right, and you're not learning. Is that making sense? So, like, rather than letting the ego get upset because something's ended that we really, truly, wholeheartedly believed, and apparently we wholeheartedly believed it with a lot of stress and discomfort to ourselves. And even though it created all that stress and discomfort, and now that justice is coming in and helping for like better things to take place, wishes to be fulfilled, there's all of this sad energy because, you know, you want to hold on to what needed to end for wishes to come true, and not looking at the beautiful new bloom in front of us, like right beside us. It's right there. It was all this dead journey, and now we've got something new and fresh. We don't want to look at it. Like, how self-sabotaging is that? So that's what's driving this reading, self-sabotaging behaviors and hanging on to things that weren't worthy of hanging on to because they were damaging and they weren't true anyway. And, you know, not wanting to see the new information and the justice as being a wish fulfillment, even though it is. So come on, guys, let's pull out of that. Let's pull out of that. Where apparently, so the Knight of Cups, right? When you've got cups, you've got a lot of emotions. It's the water, right? It's the water. Lots of emotions. And so it's creating a lot of emotions in people, like despair. Despair, having new information come up and justice come up that can put us in a better space, better way to move forward. But it's creating all of these emotions and despair. So, yeah, patience. So if this isn't you, you know, it's probably people you know. And with Temperance, it's like, if you're not in this space, this is a very important reading. Because I got a little bit of a feeling that if you've been tuning in with me, this isn't you. But this is people that you love and people around you. And so Temperance is asking to be patient with people. Be very patient, be very loving, pull in that divine love, right? Alchemize that divine love, bring it into you, and be very patient and very compassionate with people. Because people are disappointed. They're disappointed that a narrative that they've been really invested in is coming to end. And that justice has come in and information has come up that can end this worrisome narrative and bring some good things, some wishes being fulfilled, but people are actually disappointed in that narrative coming to end. And it's causing a lot of emotional baggage. So be very patient with people, be very compassionate with people. If you don't have the ability to be patient and compassionate, then I would suggest start giving yourself some compassion. We've been through a lot over the last couple of years, and start giving yourself compassion because you need it before you can give it, right? I mean, how can we give compassion and love if we don't know how to give that to ourselves? But that's what the universe is asking of us. So we did get 2 higher arcana cards here. So yeah, a narrative has ended in our journey, and justice has come in. It's bringing in some wish fulfillment, but it's causing a lot of disappointment and a lot of emotional, high emotions with people. So we're being asked, if we're not the ones deeply disappointed and feeling despair, we're being asked to give love and compassion. Okay? So, let's just elaborate on, I'm just wondering, should I elaborate on what's driving this journey, that despair and that unwillingness to look at something brighter, or if I should elaborate on the justice? I'm going to elaborate on justice. Just going to pull 2 clarifying cards there, okay? And then we're going to move on to our Dolphin Mermaid deck. Okay. So with justice, what we're seeing is justice has come in. We've got the Page of Cups. So the Page of Cups can represent a lot of things. It really can represent our children. It's a very youthful energy, the Page. So it can represent the children, but it's the cups and it's emotions and it's the water. So with water signs and emotions, things are under the surface, right? Things are under the surface. So, and then we have the Higher Arcana card, the Magician. So I guess one of the things that's really upsetting people right now is that the narrative that they were following involves our children and being tricked into believing things. I mean, I could pull a couple more cards on this. I have to be really careful with my words here on YouTube, all right? So, but I would say we have had a shift out of a narrative that's been going on for 2 steady years. And many people have been following that very closely in the news and on the news all the time. It's very damaging to take that all in constantly, the bombarding of the information. And it did cause a lot of worrying and fretting, and people listened to what they were being told. Just recently, I know in my state, they've finally let the kids out of the face coverings. And justice, the children, and then the trickery. So it's a wish for, there's wishes coming true, like freedom is happening, but it would seem as though the narrative has gone on for so long that for a lot of people this is very, that in itself is causing anxiety and a lot of emotions, okay? There's also been, there were places where it was, let me see your papers, right? And a lot of things being implemented that was taking away our sovereignty and our freedom by forcing us to do things that we might not have wanted to do. And the people that backed all of that may be feeling very disappointed right now. And I'm sorry if anybody's watching this that finds this offensive, but it's, you know, the universe is saying, let it go. Let it go. It's okay that it's okay. It's okay that you were afraid and fretting and that you really didn't need to be. You were tricked. Justice has come in. Good things are happening. Wishes are being fulfilled, right? Hasn't everybody said right along that they can't wait till this is over? Even the people that really did resonate with all of this. So it's coming to an end. It's ending. Be happy. Self-nurture. Be happy. Celebrate. And if you know people that are suffering because this has all happened so fast, as everything does, when things end, they end abruptly. That's how things end, right? If you know people that are suffering because this has all ended abruptly, let's try giving a lot of love and a lot of compassion if you don't have it to give, because you need to nurture yourself right now, because this has been a tough couple of years. And often when things end abruptly, no matter what side of the coin you were on or what you were thinking or what you were believing, the energy just moves so quickly. It's almost like it can exhaust people. So please, everybody give themselves love and nurture, and compassion. And then if you have people in your life that are going through some pretty heavy emotions, feeling despair because of the ending of what's happening, the justice and truths coming out about trickery and things, give them compassion if you have it. If you don't have it to give, please don't give anything. Rather, like, don't be an I told you so. Just give love and compassion. We've all had a ton of places where we've been wrong or misled, tons of times, and we all will again. And it's just not very kind to act self-righteous to people that are suffering. It's just not. So I'm just going to leave that at that. So compassion for ourselves, compassion for others. If you know people that were really caught up in this narrative and now there's a lot of disappointment and emotional torment going on with them because things are shifting and passing and ending, please give compassion. Please, please, please. If you don't have it to give it to yourself. Fill yourself up with it so much that then you do have it to give. Okay. All right. And there you have it. So I'm going to take a sip of my coffee, and now we are going to read from the Dolphin Mermaid deck, and we're going to get some positive affirmations. And let's all give thanks, honestly, and gratitude for learning lessons, even if we have to, learn them the hard way. Learning them the hard way, we retain that. We retain it the best. Let's all give gratitude for the lessons that we've learned. Let's all give gratitude that things are lightening up and lessening and things are coming to pass. And we're learning truth and knowledge, right? And let's give ourselves nurture and love with the shifting of the energy. It's very healing, but it can be exhausting. And if you know people that are sad or in despair, because they're reeling right now, please give compassion. Please, please. Please be compassionate. Even if those people didn't give you any. Especially if those people didn't give you any. It's easy to give compassion to people that have been compassionate with you. It is a challenge to step out of the ego and just give compassion from the heart. Doesn't matter if they weren't compassionate with you. Like, lead by example. Don't live your life by how others act. Like, be the example. Be the positive example. Let's let our children see things that are positive coming from us, right? Makes sense after that reading. Okay. All right, you guys. So the first thing that we got was tranquility, okay? Make time to relax, be still, and enjoy your solitude, indulging in much needed self-care. So what were we just saying? Fill yourself up with compassion and stuff. Sometimes when an energy comes in abruptly, it's like exhausting. Even though it's a good thing when, you see in all of these shifts and things getting lifted and freedom the freedom to just plain freedom coming back in again. When it comes in all at once like that, just from one energy to another, just boom, it can leave people feeling exhausted. So self-nurture, self-care, take some time to be tranquil, indulge in some solitude, some self-healing, some tranquility. And then we have morning affirmations. Say positive affirmations each morning to open the gates of manifestation. So manifest good things. Say positive affirmations. It's very healing. It's very healing. And it's a great way to really get an energy flowing in the direction that you want it to. Got to put that energy out there. It's got to go out there and then it comes back to us. So everything we put out comes back to us. Remember that. Everything we put out comes back to us. So put out the morning affirmations, good stuff, so that it will come back to you, okay? And then have faith. Have faith, you guys. Your prayers are manifesting. Remain positive and follow your highest guidance. So keep the faith. Okay? Keep the faith. Keep the faith. So yeah, a lot's shifting. A lot is shifting all at once. Be happy. These are good changes. These are good changes. Embrace them. Embrace the good. Don't hang on to what was. Don't look back. We're not going there. Okay? All right. So until next time, you guys, many, many blessings from me to you. Enjoy the full moon. Bring your dreams into fruition. Pull them right down into earth. Ground them there. And, yeah, make them solid. Make them solid. All right. Until next time, I'll see you.